I think we are live, so we can start with the session. Very good evening to all the students who are listening to this session. Myself, Dr. Sandeep Sharma. I am your pediatric faculty at DocTutorials, and we have elite team with us today. We have Dr. Swati with us. Swati ma'am is our anesthesia faculty. Ma'am has uh, multiple years, almost more than a decade of experience in training students for NEET PG, FMG, INICET, and ma'am also has a very well-running, thriving residency program. And we welcome ma'am to the DocTutorials team. Plus, we have your favorite Dr. Rajiv Dhawan sir. Sir is your favorite ENT faculty, and he's a motivator par excellence, the strategist par excellence. So the purpose that we have gathered here is to target NEET PG exam in the next 6 months. It's going to be a strategy session. We'll keep it brief. We'll not go beyond 25 to 30 minutes, but we'll be talking some very important, pertinent points if you are targeting the upcoming NEET PG exam. At the same time, we have tried not to use it like a one-way Gyan Banto kind of program. We are going to make it a kind of interactive. The most interactive we can make is two ways. Before the session started, last few days we have interacted and asked for student reviews if they are preparing, what are the problems they are facing, and those problems, some of the common template problems we will be taking up, and our elite team of members will be sharing their views on that. Plus, whatever doubts you have, you are most welcome to post it in the comment section, and we'll be talking about it. So, without wasting any time, I welcome Dr. Rajiv sir and Swati ma'am. Welcome, sir. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Let's start. Let's start with the session.
Yes. So my first question is to Rajiv sir. Rajiv sir, there is a student who has actually similar question was asked by two different students in the Google Forms link that we had shared with many of the student community. The question is similar. Sir, I am targeting NEET PG 25 and the exam is in June. My preparation is still very patchy. Do I have a chance if I work hard over the next 6 months? And how should I be planning my preparation? Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Sandeep sir. Without wasting the time, I would like to tell you 6 months are adequate time to prepare for the exam. And I would give my example that I started preparing in the month of August, and January was exam. August, September, October, November, December, and January. You might say, Rajiv, you must have well read during your MBBS. No, I did not. I scored very bad in first prof, horrible in second prof. The only saving grace was my clinicals. 6 months is sufficient time to really target a good rank. When I say good rank, mean really I say we are expecting below 2000 rank for a lot of students, and that is achievable. Only thing is that you need to understand that this is the last time you're going to study like this so aggressively in your life. Every relative keep telling us when we meet them in the marriage parties, birthday parties, doctor keeps studying. Why you keep studying so much? Doctor keeps studying. And we make faces, yeah, we study a lot. In our heart, we know we don't study much. You know it. How we study close to exam. What is the hostel environment just before exam changes suddenly from a bar to a temple. You know that. You know what? This is the last time you'll be studying like this ever in your life. Please make it the best chapter of your book. And after this, the PG start. PG is not a stop telling your relatives that we study a lot. You know it. This is the time you should be investing, and 6 months is adequate time. How would I do it? Number one, I will pick up one source for one subject. I will not go here and there. One source cannot cater to every subject. We are very well aware of. Whichever source you're comfortable, now stick to that. Start churning the best out of that. Number two, do not read too much like subjective paper. It's an objective paper with a lot of arenas already decided where they are deep dive into, and recent advances which are rank deciding questions. Approach towards the subject has to be really strong. If you've never read Obs Gynae, for example, after your clinical exam was over, and you think you will invest 15 days for Gynae only, Obs Gynae, believe me, you can't revise it. So you have to really see 5 to 6 days for Obs Gynae, and then I'll come back to the cycle of revision one more time. And last thing before I hand over to Sandeep to you, I would say one thing, everyone. After the first reading or oblique the revision is over, if you're a repeater, please make sure that you have 60-40 rule, and 60 is for theory revision and 40% time should be devoted to the multiple choice question.
I think there is some technical error. There is some internet issue at sir's end.
Am I
So, sir,
am I okay?
sir, please check your connection.
Okay.
Sir, can you just repeat the last 10
Yeah,
seconds
sure.
which you
Sandeep,
spoke?
the last thing I was saying that
60 40.
if you have completed a one-time reading or one revision, yeah, I'm audible now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
Yeah, guys, please fix the 60-40 rule. This is the biggest mistake people have been doing. They read a lot of theory and they don't save time for the multiple choice questions. And we lay a lot of stress on solving multiple choice question because ultimately you're not writing an essay about anything over there. You have to crack the question. For that, the 40% time should be going to the multiple choice question based study. That is my biggest advice to everyone. Okay, over to you, Sandeep.
Thank you, sir. Very relevant advice given by sir. And
Sandeep. Yeah.
to add to it, there are 2 or 3 points I want to emphasize. If you have 6 months time left, divide this entire time into 3 parts, about 2.5 to 3 months, followed by a period of about 1.5 months, and then a very short revision of about 15 to 20 days. If you do it like this, you will find that your syllabus is finishing somewhere just before INI-CET. INI-CET is going to be held in the month of May, and our sincere advice is to please target INI-CET. Even if your preparation is not of the level that you think that INI-CET you will not be able to crack, prepare keeping the INI-CET in mind. What it will do is two things. Number one, you will be raising your level of preparation accordingly. Number two, you will be able to finish the preparation on time. And God forbid, even if some subject remains weak after INI-CET and the NEET PG, there is a gap of about 5 to 6 weeks, 5.5 weeks to be precise. And in that phase, you can focus on that preparation and do really well. And if nature is favorable, God is favorable, you will do excellent in INI-CET, and maybe you will be giving NEET PG only for fun. So you have nothing to lose. So please target INI-CET, keeping the 60-40 ratio of theory and MCQ thing that Rajiv sir told. Moving on, we'll be coming to this thing with some more details. My question to Swati ma'am. Ma'am, another student has asked that I am an intern and have limited time available. My focus has always been on big subjects like medicine, surgery, OBG, path, and pharma. How to manage the short subjects and preclinical subjects, which I feel very uh, little in. This is what he has written. Ma'am, your view on this.
Yeah, first, though, you have to understand the importance of the short subject. Like, if you see the last year paper, I just did some study for the students, and I, let's say, separated the questions which were asked from different streams. So, what I found that if you include ENT and Optha and all the short subject, it was kind of 65 MCQs. From first year, it was total 45 MCQs. Second year, it was 75 MCQs. And from major subjects, it was 115 MCQs. And if I see the time required to prepare the subjects, then it takes a lot of time to prepare the major subjects. You need to give more time for the output. But that is just reversed in short subject. For short subject, what is questions are being asked are fixed questions. The topics are fixed, the questions are fixed. So you just have to be question oriented. And what is my advice? That since the exam is only in 6 months, for short subject, what I can say that rely on your source, the faculty which you have chosen. Go for quick revision sessions, solve the MCQs as much as possible so that you don't miss the important topics which are coming in the exam. What I tell to every student, that you don't have to study everything, but for some topics you have to study everything. So if some particular topic is being repeated and repeated, if possible a new question is formed, it will be from that topic. So few topics we have to study everything about that topic, but we cannot study everything. So we have to be more question oriented. Go for quick revision. Quick revision has been planned in a very smart manner. It is covering all the important topics, it is covering all the recent question, and it is giving you more, I mean, in less time you are preparing it, and it is giving you more time for exams and for the MCQ practice. So that would be my advice. go for quick revision. And one thing I want to add, that these exams, the entrance exam, they don't test your knowledge, they test your smartness. So what you have to be, you have to be smart in your planning. So be a good planner, as both the sirs suggested, that you have to divide your time properly, and be very, very like always plan for revision in a very good manner. Revision is must, because there are a lot of volatile topics which are being asked. Keep those volatile topics at the end for revision. And whatever mistakes you are doing during your total preparation, write it separately, and make it a point that you revise it before your exam. So revision is key to success.
Yeah, very
That's over
rightly
to
said
Sir.
by ma'am. Very rightly said by ma'am. There are actually three messages which have come in the live chat box. Two of them are similar, which I will be asking Rajiv sir. One I will take myself. That they are asking, sir, how different in INICT strategy different from this? You need to understand the difference between the exam. INICT, NEET PG. Keep it simple. Both of them, all 19 subjects are asked. Both of them are now clinically oriented. INICT, negative marking is more -1/3 compared to -1/4 in NEET PG, number one. Number two, NEET, if you look at the questions asked, the distribution of questions asked from 2021 INICT till about 2024 INICT, and yes, we have data available for that. Our team members have collected that and calculated that roughly 52 to 53% questions are asked from pre and paraclinical subject in INICT. Clinical subjects have slightly lesser weightage. That doesn't mean they are not to be read. Slightly lesser weightage. When it comes to NEET PG, it flips. In NEET PG, the clinical weightage becomes almost as high as 57 to 58%, and 42 to 43% is for the pre and paraclinical subject. The only thing constant is change. Every year examiner changes a bit. Sometimes it's more one liner, sometimes it's clinical, sometimes it's image based, sometimes it's a mix. So you need to be mentally prepared for that. Lastly, INICT is a more vertical exam. Vertical exam means there will always be a question on vaccine, always a question on, I'm talking about my subject, neonatal resuscitation, always a question on anthropometry, maybe two questions on anthropometry, but they will ask fine points or they will ask very close option. NEET PG is a more horizontally distributed subject. Everything is important. And to be honest, it may sound a bit childish for you, but your so-called shortcut programs will actually have a higher failure rate in INICT, in NEET PG compared to INICT, because INICT repeated questions are asked from the same topic again and again. Whereas in NEET PG, you have to cover more and more things, even if you are not able to cover it in much depth. So the difference lies in the way you are approaching. Previous year question, previous year topics become more important in INICT compared to NEET PG. Sir, Rajiv sir, second question. It is almost three times people have asked, sir, what is, I am doing internship and I'm unable to plan. I have limited time available. Ma'am has given a suggestion already that for the weaker and shorter subjects, you can go for quick revision program kind of thing. Sir, any other advice you would give to these people?
Okay. Sandeep sir and everyone, please hear that if you're an intern, earlier exam used to be in January, you never had a chance then. Now you're getting, January, by chance, December, your internship is finishing. You have got 5 months with you properly. And March also finishing, still you have got comfortable time after that to have revision. Now, the only thing is, are you ready to now get to the exam mode? If you're intern, when we're in the ward or wherever we are, sometimes we definitely get. At that time, let's solve multiple choice question. See, there'll be never a proper time for interns to really study, it. But certain postings are lighter. Let us really accept that. Hopefully, if you get a lighter posting now, please utilize that properly. Number one. Number two, Sandeep sir, I'm again reiterating to Swati ma'am also and you also, this time is sufficient to crack a good rank. Only thing is, if you are willing to put 10 12 hours every day, as Swati ma'am told that short subject you can do through smaller quick revision programs, and the you can lay more focus on those topics which are being asked more commonly. See, 19 subjects getting mastered in a very holistic way, like doing every topic properly and all that is something approach for subjective kind of examination, but it's objective. You'll be assessed for 19 subjects within like 2.5 hours out of 200 question only. There'll be no break over there. So the bombardment going to be, as Swati ma'am also pointed, that smartness is going to be tested over there. Study smart and do the structured, smart, consistent hard work. And you know what? I would really tell you, if I am you, if I am a repeater, then my story is different. Like I repeated, then I know I've done couple, but I am in turn. What I will do, I'll make a target to finish everything by March. Then before the INSTT come, I will be doing one revision before that. I'll give INSTT whatever ways and means I can do. I'll definitely do INSTT properly. After that, another 1 month is there. Guys, look at the placement. We always keep cribbing NEET PG getting postponed. I do understand the frustration, but there's an opportunity in the challenge also, that whatever weakness you have been having now in the gynae, surgery, ortho, pediatrics, ophtha, ENT, you can fulfill that. And the most important thing is, even if you are given 1 year, do we really study 1 year? No, not at all. Again, we waste first 5 months, then we suddenly pick up, and then we're devoted. Why not really see that God has given us a chance? Let us finish the story this time. People who scored, like rank, below 7,000 in INSTT, they have a brilliant chance coming up in the next INSTT and the NEET PG also. But please make a structure that what will you follow? Where are you standing right now? Are you repeating? Are you first timer? Are you, going to finish your internship in December or March? Make a timetable, and if you are a first timer, let us make a target. End of March is the end of the study for me. One time. Then INSTT, one revision completed. Post INSTT NEET PG, one more revision completed. Yes, there has to be, but you have to learn the art of faster study and faster, smarter revision. This slow kind of reading, let me tell you one secret which I really feel every day. Slow पढ़ लो, fast पढ़ लो. Slow revise कर लो, fast revise कर लो. भूलने की स्पीड बराबर है. भूलने की स्पीड एक जैसी है. आप चाहे स्लो पढ़ते रहो, मजे मजे पढ़ लो. 10 दिन में नसीदा पढ़ लो, आराम से पढ़ो, आराम से भूलेगा, चिंता मत करो. एक ही दिन में वाइप आउट हो जाएगा. रिवीजन नहीं करेंगे, पकड़े जाएंगे, बता रहा हूँ. प्लीज पहली बार में अच्छे से देख लिया, ज्ञान सब आ गया. जैसे पिरामिड बना रहे हैं, बेस अच्छा बन गया. अब PYQ के पता लगे टॉपिक ये ज्यादा आ रहे हैं, इनको अच्छे से और रिवाइज किया, और धीरे धीरे चलते एपेक्स आता जाएगा. और बाद में जो कंसाइज मटेरियल ना, उसको रिवाइज करना होता है. दिस इज नॉट अ फाइट ऑफ जस्ट हार्ड वर्क, इट्स अ फाइट ऑफ स्मार्ट हार्ड वर्क.
Smart hard work, right? I just want to add one more thing, sir. The preparation should be from minimum to maximum. जैसे हमको लगता है कि हम सब कुछ पढ़ लेंगे, ये भी कर लेंगे, वो भी कर लेंगे, but ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. What we should do, that what is minimum required, first we have to do that. And once we have done with that minimum, then little bit we can expand our horizon. And as Rajiv sir said, I very much agree. Whether you are intern, post-intern, or second year MBBS student, the time is same. The time is always limited. So anytime you are preparing, you have to smart plan. You have to plan it very smartly. I mean, it is more of a plan that we have to make.
Rightly said, ma'am. I'll share a very recent example with you, with the students. Yesterday, I was in Calicut and I was taking a class. A student came to meet me. I'll keep it non-controversial. That student is an intern, right? He's just finished, like finishing or finished kind of internship. He said, sir, there are 2 subjects I have not even touched so far. And he said, sir, I have 5 online platforms with me, right? I know many of you are on the same boat. He said, ranging from DT till all the, major platforms that he had all of them. And he said, sir, I can't do everything. So these 2 subjects, from where should I do? I advised him without even, knowing about what is the exact duration. I said, whatever is the shortest one, go with that. Because
exactly.
If you ever see 80 hours of one content and 160 hours of one content, you might be tempted. Okay, 160 hour will give me more strike rate. No, dear, you have limited time. 160 hour you will be able to do, but revise kab karoge? 80 hours of content if you do, you will be able to at least revise it twice. So my advice to you, if you are an intern and have limited time available, is don't try to do research. Just do whatever you can understand, whatever source you are following. If you can understand it well, number one. If your PYQs, solve PYQs, if your 60-70% PYQs are solving in first reading, great. Try to give as many fast readings as possible, because reading number 1, you will only remember 20-30%. Another reading, it will be 40-50%. By the time it is third reading and you have done PYQs twice, your score will be 70 to 80% in that subject, which is a good fighting chance for that subject. Rajiv sir, Q Bank. Another
Yes.
query I have got just now. Q Bank, sir, how to solve and should we solve if we have 6 months available? Your view, sir.
My highest bet on the questions always, like, the questions are the insight for what part of the subject are more important, are more favorite for the faculties who are posting those questions in your examination. So I believe in 60-40 rule always. And basically we get bored of theory. You know, how would I read psychiatry would be, I will do 1 day, 1.5 day, first time reading psychiatry for the exam. That is sufficient. After that, I will do 6-7 hour MCQs and see that data, what actually examiner is asking. See, questions are the mirror through which examiner mindset reflects upon to you. Please, let me say it again. The questions are the mirrors through which the examiner's mindset reflect upon to you. If we do not do question and we just do theory, you are just walking on a different path. And let us correct the game. This time, I want everyone to really be clear about it, that you not solving multiple choice question is not going to help us in the examination. That's mandatory. Shall I do only PYQs? Not at all. Mixed bag always. Shall I? I'm not doing INICT. That's not a good idea. You should be appearing in INICT. It's a considerable examination with good number of seats nowadays. And anyway, it's a semi-final for the NEET PG. In case you think that, and you may be lucky, and don't declare that I'm not really prepared for that. We are never prepared aptly for any examination. You know it. Only thing we have to settle the game in this number of weeks only now. Now, Sandeep, the last thing I would like to say, everyone, when you have done some subject from X source, try to do the question from the Y source. It is really always better. You can mix and match also. And I must really, proudly say this thing, that the whole team of DocTutorials have really verified the question, and we have made these questions in the Q bank in such a way that you're able to make us in sync with what actual examiner is wanting you to. And same with the Doc online live program also. What we're trying to do is, see, ENT can be done in 27 to 28 hours also, targeting every concept which INICT NEET PG is asking. Rather than spending 60 hours on ENT and then not revising that, that's not a good idea. So quick material, sharp material, concise material, but rank deciding material, but in lesser number of words. The same story can be said in lesser number of words. Use that material and save the time for multiple choice question, but make a timetable today and adhere to that. Whichever place you are right now, make a timetable and follow the timetable. That's very important. Sandeep sir.
Very aptly said, sir. Swati ma'am, before I shared some of the timeline examples of how you can plan out, like we have already discussed it. So I will be summarizing in just 2 minutes from now. I have a question to Swati ma'am. Ma'am, many students have said that can you, with your experience, can you please tell us things we should avoid doing? One of them, you have already said that not to go into too many details. What are the other things students should be careful of when they are preparing now and starting their preparation? Anything coming to your mind, ma'am?
Yeah, definitely. One thing that you should, as you just now mentioned, that one student had 5 source, all the online platform and so many notes and everything. Rely on one source. Revise, have like whatever teacher you are preferring for a particular subject. Rely on that faculty. Rely on his notes. So for anesthesia, if you're studying from me or from some other person, from multiple source, it will not do benefit. Most of the faculties are good. So what you have to do, you have to rely on one faculty which you have chosen, and you have to believe on that, the content provided by that faculty, rather than increasing your content, increasing your horizon. So first mistake is that we go for multiple content, which is non-advisable. Second thing, what I think, is social media and group study. Now, if you believe in group study, I mean, you should limit your time for the group study. 6 months is enough time, But 6 months is that you should 10 to 12 hours of study has to be, of focus study has to be given for that time. So in group study, what I have noticed, a lot of time is wastage. So don't waste your time. Go, if you want for a group study, go for short time period. Join the group, I mean, one or two group for short time period. Then third thing, which I think is a mistake, don't follow controversial question and waste your time in finding the answers of controversial question. Again, rely on your faculty for the answer of that controversial question and just know that one answer. Don't waste your time. Your time is very precious at this moment. Fourth thing which I want to say, be positive. Be positive, because positive, if you are positive, then only you will perform the best. So take away any negativity from your mind, and definitely then we will do best.
I'll be taking up one query from the live chat. One student has asked how to approach first revision, and should we split the schedule and focus on one subject per day, or can we split multiple subjects? See, it is not one thing fits all. But generally what we see is few things you can do. Suppose you are now getting serious and going to start preparation. My personal advice will be, do not start with medicine or surgery. Do not start. I say it in capital words, do not start with medicine or surgery. Why? What will happen is you are now just beginning your preparation, and it might happen your speed is a bit slow. It will take time for you to get the tempo going, and you might have to adjust your working hours and everything as well. So what will happen is you plan to finish medicine in say 10 or 15 days, but it's a huge subject, and you will eventually end up finishing only medicine, that also a 70-80% in 1 month. And then you will look at your schedule and you would realize only one subject done and 18 subjects to go in the next 5 months. It will weigh down heavily on your psyche, and you will have a lot of panic attacks coming at that time. What is doable is try to start with a medium level subject, something which, and try to combine it with a short subject. I'll give you an example. You can maybe start with pharmacology, which is a bigger subject, and add psychiatry to it. What it will do is, psychiatry is doable, pharmacology is tougher, but maybe if you're reading 8 hours in a day, 6 hours for pharmacology, 6 into 5, 5 days you continue it, 30 hours you give to pharmacology, and 2 hours per day for 5 days consistently, 10 hours per day first reading you give to psychiatry. Many of the topics in them will be overlapping. Antipsychotic, antidepressant, their classification, lithium, all those things will be overlapping. So you will be saving time. If you have read in one subject, you will be saving time. And by the time the first week is done, you will at least have a satisfaction. You will be able to understand what pace you are going. You will want to increase or decrease or not. And then you introduce the bigger subject. I have tried it. I have suggested it last year to someone I know very well, somebody related to me in my family, and she has really benefited from it. So I'm just sharing what I have seen people benefiting. But at the same time, it's not a gospel truth. There can be many ways to reach the same destination. This is one thing you can do. Try to combine the subject. For example, if you are reading anatomy, try to combine it with orthopedics. Surgery, you can, add ENT to it probably. When you are reading medicine, try to add pathology, or maybe add a smaller subject like dermatology to it. PSM and pediatrics go wonderfully well. You will avoid over reading and wasting time on overlap topics like vaccination, nutritional indices, severe acute malnutrition. You will actually be saving a day in that. Otherwise, if you are doing them separate days, you will actually be doubling your effort, and overlap topics will be wasting your time. So try to combine the subjects. Yes, if it is a big subject, you can always devote the entire day to that. But again, there is no, and don't try to do 4 subjects in a day. Not going to work out. You can try it for 2 days. It will not work out. That is my guarantee. So these are the few suggestions regarding this thing. Rajiv sir, your suggestions on the comments students are putting, sir.
Yeah, that wonderful suggestion, Sandeep sir. And guys, let me suggest you now, if this session is really relevant for you, what you do is you take a paper and write down the name of subject and very honestly write where you stand for that subject. Okay, for example, you have not been able to do PSM, so it's like out of 10 rank it, and give number of days according to that particular score you have over there. Because for example, you don't know orthopedic properly and you think 1.5-2 days good enough for me, It's absolutely okay. Everybody says faculties should give a schedule. I absolutely do not relate to that. We can give the last 10 days schedule, how to revise that. But this period schedule will be tailor-made for yourself as per your needs and your current standing and your limitations. Everyone has different limitation. For example, someone who is post-intern but has to do a job due to financial reasons, because everyone's story is not same. But he has also got aspiration to do a specialization. So see where you are. What are your limitations? Are you intern, post-intern, or doing job, or fully available to study? As per that, make a schedule for these 6 months. One thing I can tell you from my experience, this is a sufficient time to crack a good rank. Howsoever ill-prepared you may be for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 subjects. As Sandeep sir said, that you can try integration on your part as well. I don't like microbiology. How did I do microbiology? I did bacteriology and antibacterial or pharmacology together. So microbiology minus bacteriology was a doable microbiology for me when microbiology turn came. Split your fears into smaller parts. Do not do the boring subject the whole day. If you read a boring subject for you for next 3 days, you will lose the interest in complete study. Mix and match. Morning take the challenging subject, for example, biochemistry. In the evening, do Optha ENT. We make you smile and you feel nice about it. At night, you do the multiple choice question of Gynae, which you did 1 week back. Divide this like this. But the whole day cannot be at your disposal. I understand that. So you have to make this thing, no, till 2 o'clock I'm doing duty. After that, this is my, time, and that's how I divide it. But people who have got 24 hours, they waste 20 hours, only study 4 hours. Okay. And there are people also whom I know, they work for 8 hours. Whatever time is remaining, they invest 6, 7 hours out of that hour also. They also have a very good, like possibility of getting good rank. So write your own story, make your own plan, considering your limitation, and execute the plan. I'm reminding you, if you will follow 7 days your own schedule, you will become your 20th faculty. I'm not sure about a 20th notebook and this thing, because I'm a more a smartphone person. But I can tell you, if you follow 7 days your own schedule, you will become your own faculty. And really, we want you to become, aware of this thing. I'm the smartest person for myself because I know my limitation the best. Dr. Dhawan does not know. Dr. Sandeep does not know. Dr. Satya also does not know, because I know what I did in my hostel days. It. Let's carve out a plan. But if I'm telling you, if I can crack a rank below 500 in NEET PG, you to have wonderful chance with the kind of gadgets we have and the technology we have now. Please plunge into it. We are one click away from doing multiple choice question. I am doing duty, sir. I'm not. Come on, not that every ward duty is such a heavy duty. 2-3 hours. After that, you 6 hours. 3 hours we're watching Netflix series episode 1, 2, 3. You know it now. How religiously we complete that? Let's replace Netflix with the medical Netflix now.
Very nice example given, sir. Yes, and simultaneously, you should not also get burnt out. See, it's 6 months time. You have sufficient time. So what you should try to do is, if someone has asked twice, 2 people have asked, when should the first revision be done? If you are starting it, say from tomorrow, by the last week of February or the first week of March, practically speaking, you should be finishing the first reading. Quality doesn't matter. While reading, you will realize, okay, I'm not remembering anything. I'm forgetting everything. That feeling will come to every student, every single student. It's okay. Just get the job done. When you start revision, after that, then again, you will actually start remembering better. So try to finish off the first reading of all the 19 subjects, and don't try to make a khichdi as someone is saying physio also, patho also, pharma also, medicine also on same day. It's a bad thing to do. Maximum 2 subjects in a day, not more than 2 subjects in a day. Otherwise, you try to mix 3 subjects in a day, that integration doesn't work out. And 20th notebook is not mandatory. 20th notebook is more of a glorified thing these days. What is 20th notebook? When I was a student, I knew that I'm a pediatrician today, but I always used to forget milestones. Myself, I used to forget them. So milestones, I will write them in one copy, which I will always see when I'm not doing anything. When I'm taking a break, when I'm going to watch a movie, on the way, I will see that. So that is your 20th notebook. It will not be the same for everyone. When you finish a subject, you would know what is my weak area, or when you give a mock exam, you would know where the questions are going wrong. That particular area, you have to add to your workbook. That is your 20th workbook. It is just a glorified thing. It is not a, special thing that you need to pay too much of attention. It's paid a lot of attention these days because of commercial reasons. Be smart. You are all smart people. So there is no need for that. Create your own 20th workbook yourself. Swati ma'am, anything to add, ma'am?
One thing I just want to add, that don't leave any subject untouched. You may miss some very easy questions of that subject. So even if you are not able to do a subject, at least solve the recent 5 years MCQs of that subject. So leaving a subject would be a very bad thing to do, option to be done. And as sir suggested, that 20th notebook is your notebook. What is you require? What I said, volatile things which I forget, and only you can make it. So make your note. And Dhawan sir said MCQ, MCQ, MCQ. What I want to say, as many MCQ, what you are practicing is making you be more, let's say, precise, and more making you more prepared to make less mistakes in your final exam. What mistakes you are doing in solving MCQs, that mistake will not happen again in your main exam. So solving as many MCQ as possible would always help. But let's say for a subject, you're not able to solve all the MCQs which have been provided, at least PYQs. You cannot go for exam without PYQs. I stress a lot on PYQs because somehow I feel if you solve all the PYQs of anesthesia, you are done. You are done. So my subject is easy. So I'm being very frank to you. But please watch the quick revision. It will help you in building up your concept. With concept,
Yes.
less mistake.
Yes. And at the same time, when you
Yes.
solve PYQs apart, many people are like, there is a student who said, sir, I made a custom module on some other app, and my strike rate in that PYQ was 75%. Is it okay? No, dude, 75% is not done in PYQ. In PYQ, your score should be 95 to 100% because not every PYQ will be repeated. You have to get it right all the time. One PYQ gets repeated, say 21 question of NEET PG comes in 25, you get it wrong. There are many others who will not get it wrong. You are starting with a disadvantage. Now you will have to mark that question right to come back into the game, which others are marking wrong. Is your preparation of that level? You have to ask yourself. So PYQ will not only PYQ will not make you succeed, but PYQ success rate, strike rate, when you practice less than 90-95%, you are playing with fire. You may or may not get selected. I'm being very blunt here. At the same time, supplement it with QBank and please give grand test. I'm saying with folded hands. Folded hands, I'm saying give grand test. You're thinking I will finish all subject, then my preparation will be ready, and then I will be giving grant. That time will never come. That time will never come. Give the first grant test, first GT that you give, it will be eye opener. It will be humiliating experience. You need to feed a bit of humiliation to get that fire from inside coming. After giving and give one GT at least every 3 weeks, because every 3 weeks, what is happening? You are finishing at least 1 or 2 subjects. So whatever subject is done, you have to see in grant test, are you able to solve 50% questions at least of that subject? If it is yes, you're going great. If it is not, then that problem is your problem area. And when you do the first revision, that particular subject will need more time. So GT is going to be your companion along with us faculty who are always there with you. And QBank, the QBank that DocTutorials have is the faculty created, and we have deliberately kept the questions to a minimum. It's not like neonatal jaundice, you have 25 questions. What a wastage of time. Neonatal jaundice, 5 questions are there, or each question catering to one particular concept in pediatrics, and so on. So basically, you need a variety of questions. But again, solving 2,000 questions in a day and then not reading the explanation and not remembering them is not going to work out. Solve question, PYQ, remember the answer, cram it up, mark it for later review as well. If it is a QBank question, try to understand concept, read explanation. If it is going wrong, mark it there. In the second reading, then you do only look at the marked options. If time permits, stretch your boundaries a bit. Maybe you can think of subject-based tests, and we have all these mini tests and image-based tests also available on DocTutorials if you are already following it. So, Rajiv sir, any final comment from your end, sir?
The last thing I would like to say is that do not waste more time now. If you have been really thinking that one day I'll start studying, the time has come. After this, 2 days would amount to psychiatry, 2 more days would amount to orthopedics, and 2 more days will amount to pediatrics, and some more subject will like that. Then you get under pressure. Then you start doing only PYQ based study, and then you land up into a like mid-level rank which does not cater to anything. But guys, please understand the nature of the paper. Now, either don't do it or go through it. See, please understand that this paper is not right now you're MBBS, but after this exam result, there are different 19 branches over there. Maybe you don't like that branch, then what's the point? Like I'm a little maybe more radical in the approach, but then say, see, if you are doing NEET PG, don't do it because my girlfriend is doing, my boyfriend is doing, or my friends are doing. Why you are doing NEET PG? You are MBBS doctor and you want to now become specialized doctor. Okay. Now, half-hearted approach is strictly prohibited in this exam. Either don't attempt it. And if you really want to attempt it, now then go through it within the limitations you have. I don't understand, sir. I'm an intern. How can I do it? See, go to BJMC Ahmedabad, one of the toughest internship again over there. There are people cracking the very good rank in the first go only. They made a trend, everyone studying whichever time they get. Gynae posting also they're studying. Can you imagine somebody studying the gynae posting? They're still doing the gynae question over there. So they have made a trend like that. So the parting comment from my side, I don't want to take more time. If you have decided to specialize, this is the route for that. Please go through it wholeheartedly and remember and think about this statement before you sleep tonight. If this is the last time I'm going to study so aggressively in my life, let it be the best chapter in the whole book. After that, nobody studies in the PG. Have you seen any PG first year studying? Those poor chaps don't get time to eat even, man. You know it, na? So, पढ़ लेते भाई, अच्छे से पढ़ लेते. Don't you think so? Third year में अच्छा काम करो, थोड़ा बहुत पढ़ो, examiner पास करवा देते. You know it, na? इतना ही पढ़ना. अच्छे से पढ़ लो. If you get good rank, good branch, good college, life थोड़ी बढ़िया हो जाती है ना? For that, sacrifice तो करना पड़ेगा.
Ma'am, any final comment from your end?
Yeah, the same thing. Don't waste your time. It's 6 months. Give your best shot and do what you can do. And what you can do is study. Study hard. So over to you, Dr. Sandeep.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And yes, so to summarize, don't waste time. Start reading now. If you are making a plan, make your own plan. If you need input specific about a subject, all us faculties at DocTutorials are available. We are there on social media. We are there on WhatsApp, YouTube channel. You are always welcome to post to anyone and we will be sharing. 20th notebook, you need to make it yourself. Solve PYQs with 100% strike rate. Q bank preferable. And for each subject, one source. If your current source is not working out, try to flip and change the subject. But don't try to do too many sources for one subject. And lastly, I've just got a WhatsApp message asking that, sir, what to... I am having FOMO. FOMO, for those who don't know, I know you know better than me. Fear of missing out. That when I read one subject, I feel like I am not doing justice to the another. And some of my friends have joined, I'll not take the name, one place, and some are joining another place. How to overcome this FOMO? FOMO will always be there. And there is a dialogue also in that movie. कुछ भी करो बनी, कुछ तो छूटेगा ही. तो जहां है उसका मजा लेते हैं. So I'll translate it. If whatever you are doing, there will always be something left behind. Yesterday, I was taking class at Calicut and I got a call from my friend asking me, I have an extra ticket for Diljit Dosanjh show at Chandigarh. Can you come? I can't be there. I can't be physically present at two places. So I had to let go. So I focused. I felt bad for a few milliseconds. Then I said, I am taking a class. Let me finish the class well in time. If everything goes well, once these classes are done, I will find time and I will fly over there and attend Diljit Dosanjh's whatever concert there is. So whenever you are reading, you will always have something which is being left. Focus on the thing that you are doing and do it. Give the best possible shot that you can give. And as for FOMO and joining multiple places and all, just because someone else is going somewhere doesn't mean you have to follow them as well. Those who follow are sheep. Sheep, best case scenario, their skin is taken out and Sweaters are made out of them. Worst case scenario, they end up in a mutton curry. Don't be a sheep, be a human. You are all smart people. See what works for you and what specific area is putting you down. Take the help of your mentors, your seniors, and apply it. That is the best advice I can give. And before we leave, many of you have asked about the programs that we have at DocTutorials. So I'm just sharing my screen a bit. Vinod, if you can just share the screen for a moment. Yes. So this is the screen that I'm sharing with you.
Yeah.
Rajiv sir, please.
In the
Yes,
meantime, Sandeep sir, I want to tell everyone one last thing. That time has come, guys. We should now say it very openly to everyone. The content from the faculty end has to be concise, crisp, yet conceptual and high yielding in the exam. That time is absolutely, now we should say it open and loud and clear, because dealing with 19 subject and doing so much aggressively the subject, see, that is not serving the purpose. That's why we're having so many bad results even after people putting so much hard work. So guys, when Sandeep sir is saying that FOMO is troubling you, and there is a message over there, choose the source carefully. See, concise does not mean that it is not targeting the highest rank. I have been always very vocal about it, that it can be conceptual yet concise. It can be comprehensive but still can be said in lesser number of words. And you just revise that much data and targeting the highest possible question also. Revising that much data is easier. That is one way to suffer less from FOMO also, that I am doing it from that source, which actually I think I can digest, revise, and my attempt in that subject is wonderful after I do the Q bank of different sources, even whatever. That's say, do it one theory from one end, do it MCQ from the other end. You know where you stand also. That's all, Sandeep sir.
Rightly said, sir. So just a quick review. DocTutorials, we have live lectures, we have recorded lectures, and all our lectures are either updated or in the next few days, they will all be updated based upon the latest resources, and we have made them more crisp than before. And quick revision plan, fresh videos are releasing in January. Yes, we have India's only faculty created Q bank. There is no other platform that I know as of today which has faculty created Q bank. So if there is a question which is going wrong in pediatrics, I am to be blamed. If you like a question, I am to be liked. So is true for ENT, so is true for anesthesia, anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, and so on. Second thing that we have is the grant test with video discussion. All our grant tests, including the free ones and including the paid ones, after your GT is given, you can have a 1-minute review of why B, C, D were wrong and why A was correct from the faculty themselves. We have mini tests, we have 2020 test and discussion series. So based upon your time, if you're an intern, you can decide. If you are sitting at home and preparing, you can go for the more or the bigger number of tests. So you can customize as you want. And lastly, we'll be coming up with a lot of innovative things. Think like a mentor series we have already started on YouTube, where I've taken a test. Dr. Nilesh has taken a test. Dr. Priyansh Jain has taken a test to tell you live how you should be approaching and solving that question. And plus, we have all these toppers telling you the way they solve the paper when they sit in the exam. So and finally, last, before I finish off, at DocTutorials, we are all approachable to you. Just a message away. You need any help, we are always there to help you out. We have an excellent faculty team. At the same time, I'm not saying other faculty members at other platforms are wrong. End of the day, we all, DT people as well as non-DT platforms, we all try our best. But you can't do everything. You have to decide what works best for you. Don't go by something that he or she is saying or that person is saying you should do it. Ask yourself, does it work for me? If it does, go for it. And once you go for it, try to do the best you can. With this, I finish off the session.
Wonderful.
And GTs, please try to give as soon as possible. The first GT is humiliating. Let that humiliation start a fire, which will turn into wildfire for all of you, right? And in between, take breaks. You need to, just calm down yourself a bit as well. Feel like myself and Rajiv Dhawan sir had a bad last few days. We were both in Hyderabad and I was frustrated and I asked sir, what to do. Sir said, kuch dekhte hai, and we decided impromptu to watch Pushpa 2. We were late by 20 minutes, but nature favored us that 20 minutes late the session started because there was some technical issue in the theater itself. So we did not miss anything. So if you know, your preparation also, you have to take breaks, but at the same time, when you're reading, give your 100% shot. And if you're honest, nature will always favor you. Maybe the only thing, last thing you
Wonderful.
read is the only thing that you get.
I'm sure
Thank you
students
so
will be
much,
leaving the
sir.
session
Ma'am,
smiling. Smiling,
I think
everyone
when
will
we'll be
be
coming
leaving the
live again,
session.
we need
And
to come
thank you,
live
Sandeep
again
sir.
and discuss. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
wonderful, wonderful, Sandeep sir. Really, really, I think a student must be leaving the session smiling, and that's what Sandeep sir also said, that don't lose the sanity to get this PG seat only. You know, this is one of the things you are doing. You know, keep your mentally sane and sorted and happy, and still keep doing it. I know it's easy said and done, but with practice we can learn a lot of things. You know, like we have learned the bad
Yeah.
habit, we can learn the good habits also. And at DT, one thing I would like to tell you very clearly: we are passion-driven people. We are like we want to do new things which can make you, because our aim is the medicos life should be made a bit comfortable while making them achieve their dreams. They should also get some time for themselves also in between. That's what we're trying to do. The new QRP being recorded now by each and every faculty is again to bring you the content in a concise way for the final brush up session. And similarly the Q bank also, this is what actually every faculty member is trying to do at DT, and we are very delighted that we are becoming a part of your journey in one or other way. Thank you very much.
Yes, and before I finish, all this, those who have joined just now, this session will go up immediately on the YouTube channel of DocTutorials. So you can always see, you can always get back if you have missed out on anything. And please feel free to ask anything. Start your GT, start your preparation right now. Once you start, you will find your way. And we are there to help you out in case you need any of us. So thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your time on a Sunday evening. Monday is coming. We have to get to job, and all of you students, please get to job. Time is running out. Take care, everyone. God bless everyone. Bye bye.
See you soon. Bye bye.